Okay, we're going to move Albus now. Just wanted to show you his level 2 hero card. And remember, he rolls a d8 plus 8 movement. And we can level him up to level 3 at any time also by paying the 5 life force. But we'll keep him at level 2 now. And let's try to get him into that chamber to drop off those items and that potion. So he is right here behind that bookcase. And we'll generate the movement. Hopefully get an 8. And look at that. We set it, and here it is. 8. Okay, so 16 movement. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Doors open automatically, remember? Skeleton Grunt sees it, just think it's just another creature, doesn't do anything, does not raid. So, okay, we are in the chamber now with Matari and Mahaliak, and let's drop off that stuff. First of all, we have our healing potion and Ocher Juice potion, and Matari's doing pretty good. I think we should probably give this to, I'm thinking, well, definitely this, because Mahaliak is low on his essence, right? Because he's down, if you remember, he's pretty low on that. He's, might want to give him that too. So we're definitely going to give Mahaliak the Ocher Juice. Remember, that restores 6 essence when consumed. So he has that. And, you know, we're going to be sending Matari into battle. So I think that we should, you know, I think this was down here. This slid a little bit. I think it would be wise, because she's going to be definitely fighting Red Widow. She's going up against the Skeletal Grunt. So why don't we give her the healing potion? Okay, that's taken care of. She also has an elixir too. Okay, now the gear. And remember, like the heroes can't equip it. It's not their turn yet, but it's a free action when it is their turn, and we're going to be doing that momentarily. So, Troll's Tooth, that's a +1 to physical warfare and chaos. That's perfect for Mahaliak. Give that to him over here. We'll equip it in a moment. We're going to give him the Redwood Staff for a few reasons. Remember, we just talked about power gems. I think that's what we're going to create. We're going to create some kind of power gem. I'd like to do an arcane one, an arcane prowess gem or jade prowess gem, so we could bolster up his arcane to make him more proficient. So we're going to give him the Redwood Staff. I'll put that over here. And then finally, and you know, I just realized we can't give. Yeah, we can, sorry. Heroes in the game, let me tell you the formula, and this can never be disrupted. In Dungeon Crusade, and you're going to notice there's the icons. Heroes can equip, of course, 2 weapons in each hand, 1 piece of armor, 1 ring, 1 charm, and 1 piece of armor, right? I said all that. So, or necklace. So 1 necklace, 1 ring, 1 armor, 1 charm. That's the formula for that. So if you notice that Matari here, that is the symbol for necklace. She already has the Myth of the Mine. This is a ring. So there you go. So she can equip this, and this is going to give her a +2 to spiritual. So we're going to bolster up. So she's incredibly good with mythical. You know, we made her a powerhouse, and she is getting definitely better with spiritual warfare now that she has the Sunstone Ring. So let's put that over here. And again, this is why we did this. You know, this is kind of like the strategy of the game. She's going to be our main kind of tank to go in after Red Widow. And notice there's spiritual warfare and mythical. So she's going to do incredibly good with that, you know, for our Guardian hunting party. And of course, Zeke is very proficient in arcane. And hopefully you kind of see in this example, this is what you want to consider playing Dungeon Crusade. And there were a few players, I remember a while back, that said, I'm getting my butt kicked in this game. What's going on? And I explained to them, you just can't run in willy-nilly and attack stuff. You really have to kind of think of, you know, like how you want to attack monsters in this game. You know, what warfare types is that monster proficient in? And after I said that, you know, not being glowy about it, but they did better. So that's something you always want to consider. So we're going to do incredibly well with our Guardian hunting party against Red Widow. Okay, so we still have some movement left, or another action with Albus. So why don't we do this? I'm going to give Albus 200 gold. This is from Mahaliak. And then we're going to send him back up to get some gold from Zeke, and we're going to send him back to the village and pick up a few other things, okay? So let me generate some movement for his second and final action. Okay, that's only a 1, so 1, and then of course his base movement of 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. We'll point out that way because he's going to go up and meet up with Zeke. Okay, guys, that's it for Albus. Now, Matari is going to come out of that chamber and attack the skeletal grunt. And I guess we can just do that right now. Looking at our cards, you can always kind of remember this. Base movement of 3 plus the roll of a d6. And I want to get your d6 die. Okay, for first action, initiative token 3. We're going to activate her. Now just watch what's going to happen so you remember this. Okay, so that's 4 and 3. That's 7 movement. Remember, chamber doors automatically open. 1. Now hold on. Skeletal Grunt has line of sight. Instantly converts into a raiding minion. So now it sees a hero. It's going to head towards the village. How does it head out? By the red bloody arrows on the dungeon floor. That's how they're going to get out. And real quick, before we get on with this, I wanted to give the minions a little more AI. So right here in the Ancient Depths, this is perfect. Over here on this bloody arrow, I don't know if you can make this out, but on this bloody arrow right here, it says 1 to 3. On this one, it says 4 to 6. And what I did was, when I put this together, I wanted to give them a little more AI. So when this minion goes into the Ancient Depths, you simply just roll a d6. And if it comes up 1 to 3, it's kind of telling you it wants to go this way out of the dungeon. Or it's, 4 to 6 comes up, it's going to go this way. And it just gives them more, unpredictable of what the minions are going to do. And it's that simple. So anytime you see these bloody arrows with numbers, that's simply what you do. When they enter in, roll this, and it's kind of telling you which way it wants to go. All right? But for right now, we're with Matari. But I did want to point that out for you. And we're just going to move adjacent. And remember, you can attack adjacent. Let me get the warfare types, and I think we're just going to do the battle right here. And we'll go through this, a few steps so you know exactly what's going on. But I know we covered this in another video, but we'll go over this a little in depth so you know. Okay, and I have our dice set aside. I have the warfare tokens, and excuse me, I do want to point something out, and this is kind of a cool part of when you're battling minions. So we can see that this skeletal grunt is versed. Remember, this is an elite because of the gold star, and it does have a special ability, shield deflect, which we will go over. Physical warfare, mythical warfare, and arcane warfare. Remember, with the evolved minions, or with this combat system, they're trash mobs. They're not proficient at using all 3 warfare types. They randomly select one. That's the battle. But remember, there's also that final strike like we talked before about. So whatever it's going to select, you do the warfare first. So that's picture they're like kind of going at it for the initial hit. The final strike roll is them kind of like pulling away, and they're each trying to get one final hit in. And then you add whatever the warfare type is, you are permitted to add that to the final strike. And then if 2 minions were adjacent to each other, there is a thing called a critical strike. And that's just basically if there's extra damage, you can apply that to any adjacent minion. That's how that works, but of course there isn't. So let's get on with this combat. It's very simple. I mean, when you play this, it takes 10 to 15 seconds, but I'm taking the time so you know everything about this. Okay, so Matari kind of runs up to the Skeletal Grunt. It turns into a raiding minion. It has these 3 warfare types. Just going to give him a quick shuffle. And I'll tell you what, so you know that I don't know where they're at. We're just going to take the D3 and we'll roll it. 2. So we're going to go 2 down. So the Skeletal Grunt has decided to use... Oh, that was so perfect. Thank you, Skeletal Grunt. So Mythical Warfare. This, we are going to mop this Skeletal Grunt up. But remember, this does have shield deflect. Okay, actually, let's go over this real quick, so I want to point something out. Shield deflect. For each successful warfare roll a hero makes where the Skeletal Grunt would take damage, it rolls 1d20. On result of 16 to 20, no damage is dealt to the Skeletal Grunt. Now remember, that says warfare roll. A final strike is not a warfare roll. And there's some new monsters and creatures that I'm introducing into the game, and it's going to take advantage of this final strike thing. So you're going to see, I don't want to give you any spoilers, but there's things coming that they're going to be special abilities with the final strike. Okay, so let's get on with this. It selected Mythical Warfare. I'm of course declaring her Rusty Dagger. We can add +2 to this. She'll be attacking with this. I'm going to set this aside. And she has the Myth of the Mind pendant. So that's a 1. And then I won't pull her hero card. Actually, I'll show you so you know. So she's already at my 3 she could add. She's very proficient in mythical. +3. So that's a +6 she can add to this warfare roll. And remember, you just roll them both together. So they're both kind of going at it. And let's see what's going to happen. Hopefully I can just roll them here. Okay. That was very awesome. Okay, so remember, we're going to process this first. 12 and 4, that's plus her other 6. What is the 12? That's 16. That's 22. That's a mega hit. And remember, we can have a potential of 1 damage on the Skeletal Grunt. Let's take a look at the Skeletal Grunt's card. 9 and 1. Well, she blasted the Skeletal Grunt, but remember, it's going to do shield deflect. So it's picturing like it takes a shield and knocks this out of the way. That's how to think of this. We're going to have to take the D20, but let's remember what this says. Okay, that's an 11. And remember, we could add that bonus from Mythical to the final strike. So that's 11 and 6. That's 17. So just remember that. This was a monster hit, so she has a potential to kill it right now if shield deflect doesn't activate for the Skeletal Grunt. So picture like she came in with her dagger, and we're seeing if the Skeletal Grunt like deflected it with its shield. And 16 to 20 it activates. And nope, 13. So that attack did get through, and hopefully you saw how that works. So with her first hit from the Mythical, that's 22. Definitely more than 9. Damage token. We don't need it, but I'll just put it there. So well, these are the 3 ones, but still, just think of that as 1 damage. The final strike was 11. And the 6, 17. That's 2 hits. The Skeletal Grunt is dead because it has 2 health. How did you like that battle? Very cool indeed. Okay, so now we have to do the loot and gold roll. So he's dead. And let's get the D20. Let's see what's the probability of this Skeletal Grunt carrying anything of value. 20. Not very high. 20 and 20. It's going to be very hard. Let's clear this out of the dungeon. Okay, so she's looting the Skeletal Grunt. And let's see if it was carrying anything. And I don't think it was. Nope. 10. Okay, guys, look at that. We killed that. And remember, we have this in effect. We still have that in effect. So I'm going to put a token on that. So we're up to 300 for our bounty board. That's good. And I think that's Yeah, so that's it for initiative token 3. So that worked out perfectly with that skeletal grunt selecting mythical warfare. That skeletal grunt didn't know that Matari was a powerhouse, very proficient in mythical warfare. Okay, so initiative token 4. I'm going to do a little cleanup back here, and we're going to move Mahaliak across the corridor, rally for Matari, and we're going to get that last bottle of sparkling cherry jubilee wine. Be right back. Okay, and we have Mahaliak on deck, and of course he has initiative token 4. And you know what I wanted to do? I can do it now. We have to equip him with the staff. Let's do this so you guys can see. So we're going to first of all have Mahaliak quaff down the Ocher juice. Remember, when you drink a potion, put it by the village board, but off. These refresh on Celebration Day. So got that done. Consumes that, and he's basically just going to go back up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he's at full essence now. That's good. Health. He could use a healing potion for sure. But what Matari has that 1, so we may just give this to him in that chamber for the upcoming battle. And then, of course, we're going to equip him with the Troll's Tooth. And he now has the Redwood Staff with a socket. And that gives him a +1 to Arcane, so we can turn that into a -2. So he's getting a little better with Arcane Warfare. Okay, that's all done. So without further ado, let's move him across the corridor in there and see what champion monster we're going to face. There's initiative token 4. Roll for movement. He has a base movement of 2, as you probably know. 3, it's fine. So then 1, 2, doors automatically open. 3. Remember, you cannot look at the quest token until you slay the champion monster that resides in there. And it is, it's an empty chamber. What a surprise. So let me explain like I did before. There's always a chance that for this particular quest, it's said to, I don't want to pull the quest card, but like take 4 level 1 champion monster tokens in 1 empty chamber. Flip them over, shuffle them, and then place them in the ancient runes. So there was a chance this could show up, and actually it did. So that's good. So there's no battle. That was an easy one. And this is what I was saying before. This is kind of like a tutorial quest, but feel free if you want more of a challenge. So let's say that the quest card called for, take 1 empty chamber token, 4 level 1 champion, monster tokens, and then you could say throw in 2 level 2 monster tokens. So there will be a chance of maybe it'll be an empty chamber. There's a good chance a level 1 monster will show up, or there's a slight chance a level 2 monster could show up. And it's just another way you could customize the game to make it, more challenging for you. But as it may, that was an empty chamber, which was nice. Of course, we already know what it is. There is the sparkling cherry jubilee wine for Baron Whitmore. Guys, our main quest is completed. I think our card is right here for that. There's a quest card for it, and I think I read the story to you before. And let's see what we get here. Again, this is green is a level 1 quest for quest table 1. This tells you that this is part of the ancient runes board for the quests. That's a main quest. And then we're going to get 400 gold. It's a physical reward, so we have to send Albus to get it. But we can immediately get 8 life force for this from churning it in. So that's what I was saying about setup right here with everything. We've completed it. So I'm going to get the 8 life force real quick. And so these tokens here, we just it created like 1s, 5s, and 3s. So we're just going to take this, And then put this, whoop, I have to get a 1 out. But I'm going to get another 1, and then so that'll even that out. And there was that other 1, and the other one fell here. So we have our life force, and we have to get Albus back to the village to get our physical reward. So now, that was just one action. We have 2 actions left. And you know what I think we're going to do? We're going to, doing this on a whim, we're going to send Mahaliak up there to the ruins of Hamvir with Zeke and that goblin footman and try to take him out. I think that would be a good strategy. So let's just keep rolling here with this. So he has 1 more action, so let's use a move action. Hopefully big movement. Nope. So that's only a 3. 1, 2, and 3. Close the chamber door. That one closed. Okay, now, oh, you know what? It's Matari. Trying to think what to do with Matari. I'm going to pause because I want to think about this and I don't want to make you guys wait. And I wanted to point out that Matari had initiative token 5. So what I was saying about Mahaliak, I kind of got ahead of myself. He does have initiative token 6, so we're going to send him into, and I said that wrong, the runes of Daggereth. Runes of Hamvir are right here. So we're just going to move him right after this. So I was thinking about Matari, and I think the best thing to do, and I could show you something about the game, and I think it's good strategy, we're going to use Enlightenment. And of course, that's when a hero does nothing on their turn, and they're kind of, think of it like meditating, and they're going to gain a new special ability. So let's go over this real quick. And I was actually, first of all, here's her 3 special abilities. Alluring Charm, Enchanting Hymn, and Twisted Melody. So I don't think we're going to get Alluring Charm, so I'm going to put this back in the academy. And I was going through both of these right here. And I think what we're going to do is this turn get Enchanting Hymn, and then next turn we're going to get Twisted Melody, because both of these would help. So let me set this down for now, and let's go over, I'll tell you this real quick. Twisted Melody basically reflects damage back onto a monster. So if a hero was about to take damage in a battle, Matari could cast Twisted Melody and throw 1 damage back at the monster. And of course, as this levels up, special abilities go up to level 3. It can put more damage back in the monster, and you don't have to channel this, so that's nice. So next turn, I think we might be picking this up. But for now, considering that Red Widow is going to be, we're going to be battling her to wrap up Quest Table 1. I think Enchanting Hymn would be the best thing to get. So let's take a look at this. That's of course 3 life force, and I already have that here, the token to pay for that. It costs 3 essence to cast it, level 1. It can be used in a chamber or a dungeon, and of course we're going to channel it when it's done because it has that red arrow pointing down. So let's see what Enchanting Hymn does exactly. Enchanting Hymn may be activated anytime during the hero phase. When activated, all warfare rolls the heroes make during the hero phase gain +2. Enchanting Hymn has a radius of 4 spaces around the bard when activated. Line of sight is not needed to gain the benefit of this effect. So considering we're doing our Guardian hunting party and Matari is going to be kind of the lead, I think this will be very beneficial when we go to battle Red Widow. So I have the 3 life force here. So right there, I'm going to pay that. So picture she's meditating. That's her initiative token right there. That's her turn. And she now has Enchanting Hymn. So I'll put this in her player area. Toss this in there. And now we go to Mahaliak, who has initiative token 6. Okay, and last up is Mahaliak with initiative token 6. And try to give you the lay of the land here. Here's Mahaliak in the Ancient Depths, and here is the Goblin Footman we're going to go after with him. So pretty far away. Definitely not going to get there to attack him in this turn. And I'm just trying to think, should we go through you know, the Chamber of Kings north to go into the ruins of Daggereth, or maybe sneak around this way and try to, you know, go up here to the northern quarters and come in this way. I'll tell you what, let's first of all, let's try to get some movement going to see how much movement he has. He has a base movement of 2 plus the roll of a d6, and it is 3. So that's 5. And I think we're just going to go this way. 1, 2, 3, 4. Of course, Albus is in the way, and, you know, 2 heroes can't occupy the same space. I'll have to stop there. And a second action is a 4. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you know what I'm considering now? Because it's a free action, I think we're going to trade the pickaxe. Yeah, so what we're going to do is Zeke is going to give Mahaliak the pickaxe because we want to move Zeke closer to Matari, you know, for our Guardian hunting party and for the final battle with Red Widow. So let me get that. And here is the pickaxe. And just to show you how trading works, it's very simple, guys. No action, just simply if they're adjacent, you know, diagonal to each other, you can trade. So Zeke gives this to Mahaliak. So he has that now. And now we're just going to kind of see what the Goblin Footman does and go from there. But we are going to send Mahaliak after that. So that battle will be coming up probably next turn. Okay, let's head into the monster phase. And before we get into the monster phase, I just want to show you, here's our quest table 1. Of course, we've already completed the side quest, so we kind of closed the book. Our main quest is completed for Baron Whitmore, so we're going to flip this now to the cleared side. So all we have to do, guys, is kill Red Widow, and that will complete that. Elder Globe glows green, and then we will start the teleporting to the village for Celebration Day. So the big climactic end is coming up. Okay, so now let's start the monster phase. Okay, and of course at the top of the monster phase, we're going to consult the minion movement speed track, and we're going to roll to see how, I always think of it, how aggressive the minions are going to move for the forthcoming monster phase, and pretty fast. Okay, so that's a 5 right here. So the monsters will be using a D10 to generate movement. So it's going to be pretty interesting. I'm going to scoot you over here to show you the minion population track, as you're probably familiar with. Of course, we killed that skeletal grunt in Matari killed it in the hero phase. So our minion population for this game is 5. We only have 4 minions in the dungeon, so we're going to be spawning in a minion first. So let's head over to the monster area. And I already did this back when we killed the skeletal grunt. Remember how I said we shift everything down? Everything kind of moves down. So this is our new order of monsters. And I just wanted to point out to remind you or show you that our bounty board, I did put the tokens, so the heroes do have 300 gold coming to them when they arrive in the village for Celebration Day. Okay, so we're going to spawn in a level 1 minion. And remember, just to reinforce it, we're working on quest table 1. You're going to spawn in level 1 minions. If we're on quest table 2, you're going to spawn in level 2 minions. And you guessed it, quest table level 3 minions. So let's give it a shuffle. And we'll randomly select what card we're going to pull. Use our D6. Okay, we're going to go 5 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, sorry. So in the dungeon, we're going to spawn in an Orc Siege Breaker. Remember, just origin stories for this one here. Comes from the Crags. Place in Avalon, Silver Star, and let's take a look at those warfare types. So this would be pretty good for Mahaliak to take out. Okay, let me grab the D8 and its miniature, and let's spawn our friendly Orc Siegebreaker into the dungeon. Okay, and we have our Orc Siegebreaker miniature right here. We're about to spawn him in. And just kind of a cool origin story. This one comes from the Crags in Avalon, and it just talks about how they're very primitive in nature, but notice the armor that they wear. That there's this army that when I wrote in the story about the Avalon Valiant Army, so these orcs have actually stolen equipment from the Avalon Valiant Army and equipped it, and that's why they're so well armored and have, more advanced gear. So I thought you'd like to check that out. But we have to spawn in our Orc Siegebreaker, and remember, you're going to use a D8, and the green bubbles are the monster spawn points where monsters enter into the dungeon. And kind of like 1 is right here in the Chamber of Kings south, and then it just kind of goes like a clock, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8 is over here, actually right where Red Widow is. This is a little tip for you. It's just kind of like a clock, how it goes around. So we're going to roll the D8, and we're going to see where this spawns in at, and it will be at 2. Okay, so let's take our Orc Siegebreaker, and I think that's right here in kind of near, actually this is actually perfect. So it's going to spawn in right here, spawn point 2, and it's very convenient because we have Mahaliak right here, and depending on what this Orc Siegebreaker is going to do, we can just come right down here and attack this one, if that comes to it. Remember, we have our Goblin Footman right up here, so it's going to kind of be interesting what's going to happen in this area of the dungeon. Okay, and of course we have its card. It's going to put it right here. So remember, it will activate last, as I placed it right here. Okay, so first up is our Wraith. Let's head over to our Wraith. Okay, and starting off the monster phase, of course, is our Wraith that has Shadow Step for special ability. And if you remember, it left off on the Skull Pile node. So it's going to be picking up a new patrol route, base movement of 3, but with the roll of a D10. And we'll get our patrol route die, and we'll roll right here. And actually, all of the next 3 are in this vicinity here with the Well of Eternity, Ogre's Lair, Chapel of Light South, so we'll hit all of that right now. So that's an 8, and it's going to go orange, so 8 and 3. That is 11. So let's take a look. Orange, of course, is right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so it's just going to wrap around here and come down to this monster spawn point. But it does have Shadow Step. Let me grab the D20. 16 to 20, this will activate. And no, that's a 2. Okay, let's just go right in to our Blackwood Prowler, who was on the blue. It was on the blue patrol route, and special ability Blood Mood Amulet. That's for combat. Base movement of 5 with the D10. This could generate a ton of movement. So it's definitely going to pick up a patrol route. So we'll just roll all of them now. So that's 5 and 5 is 10. That is the blue patrol route. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's just going to kind of shuffle back this way. 7, 8, 9, 10. Kind of just patrolling this area here. Next up is our Shadow Dweller. And let me try to get you just closer here so you can see. Okay, right here. And on its card, it has, of course, that webbed ability, and then base movement of 4 plus our D10. And we're definitely just going to roll the patrol route die now, since it's going to pick one up. And roll right here for you. Okay, it's going to go purple. That's 4. So let's take a look here. So that's 8 movement, 1, and the purple patrol route is right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's going into the heroes. Oops, that back so you can see. It's going into heroes vigil, which is right in this area here. All right, so now Red Widow, the guardian we are hunting down. Let's adjust the camera and see where Red Widow is going to go. Okay, next up is Red Widow, the final guardian. 3 quadrants, 3Q. It's going to move 3 quadrants. The roll of the patrol route die. So to give you an idea here, here's Red Widow in this ogre's lair, and here is Matari. So it's going to be interesting to see what is exactly going to happen. Let's roll the die. And for her first movement, she will be going purple. So actually, move you over here, because she's going to go this way. I was wondering if she could still make it past over here. You know, she could always move back here and go up there. But for now, she is going purple. So you're following the purple patrol route here, over here to Ogre's Lair west, and ends up on this skull pile node. Oops, let me try to move over here. Okay, so second movement. Roll the die again. Orange. Wow, so all these minions and Red Widow are going over here. This is going to be interesting. You know, like to send the heroes into this area, that could be pretty crazy. So orange, just extra what was on the Wraith. So she's going to follow the orange patrol route here, go up, around, and arrives here. As you can see, they make huge movements because they're guardians. Last here, and that is blue. Okay, so Red Widow's going to go on the blue patrol route, and actually, guys, it's right here. So move along here, and to Ogre's Lair west, on to that skull pile node. Very interesting. So this is going to give us time to line up Zeke and Matari to hunt her down. For now, next up is our Goblin Footman up there in the ruins of Dagras. So let's head up there. Okay. And our Goblin Footman here has a base movement of 3. Now, remember, this has the screeching alarm because it's an elite. And so this is going to be interesting what happens when we go attack this, if it survives to be a raiding minion. Okay, but for now, it's moving down, remember, because that's what we corrected. It's moving to that skull pile node in the ruins of Dagarath. Base movement of 3 with the roll of a D10. Okay, have that, and of course it's going to pick up the patrol route, so let's try to roll right here so you can see. That's only 2, and it's going to go, well, that rolled, but it was a 2. You saw that. It's going to go blue. So what is that? 5 movement, 1, 2, and then it's actually going to go back up. So then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll point him this way, and let's see. I don't know. We may attack him next turn, but we'll think about it. So let's go to our last minion, which is our new Orc Siegebreaker. Okay, and our last minion to activate is right here, our Orc Siegebreaker, blue, normal version. Have its monster card here, and it patrol route die. It has a base movement of 2, I believe, right? Yeah, base movement of 2. So let's see where it is going to go. Let's put its monster card right here for now. And with a roll of D10, I'll try to roll here in the cesspool area for you. And 3, and it's going to go orange. So, and actually it's right here. So that's going to be 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now there is a wall right here. So I think I think next turn that's what we're going to do. We're going to bring Mahaliak around here, come around this wall into the cesspool south, and we're going to take out this Orc Siege Breaker. Okay? And so let's pull the camera back and wrap up turn 9. Okay, guys, and we are at the end of turn 9. What a great turn. I hope that you enjoyed this. I think a lot of stuff happened. And again, it's so nice to be back with you. And again, I'm so sorry what happened with this furnace issue. I missed being away from you guys, but I'm glad that we're back. And I'll tell you what, there's not much left. And I wanted to let you know what we're going to do. We're going to be going to Celebration Day, and then we're going to wrap up the Solo Crusader series. Because I have to work with Ilpo and a few other people on some stuff for the game. But I think this was a really nice introduction, and it taught you the game. Plus, it's not too much like as a spoiler, so you can, you can be surprised for, the new monsters for level 2, level 3, and level 4. So there's just so much more. Really, we haven't even scratched the surface of this game. There's 3 other dungeons, the different difficulties. So that's going to be our plan. We're going to kill Red Widow, hopefully kill Red Widow. We'll go to Celebration Day. I'd like to chat with you about what you do there. We're going to have a good time there. We're going to go into the House of Chance. We're going to play a game. You're supposed to randomly decide, but I have a good game. I think we're going to hang out. We're going to play one of the House of Chance games. So I'll surprise you with that. And the next few turns are going to be very exciting. I will say before we close out, my strategy right now is Zeke is up there, of course, with Mahaliak. We're going to move him down to Matari, and we're going to be very aggressive and go after Red Widow, because that's all we have to do, and it's complete. We cleared Quest Table 1. So my thing is this. I want to get right on to turn 10. I just want to keep going and wrap this up, because I know you guys are enjoying this. And to Matt, it was nice chatting with you. He said he's really enjoying the series, and thank you for doing this. I love doing this. For every game that we do with Grubus Games Unlimited, always expect for me to hang out with you, have a good time, teach you the game, get you acclimated to it, because I just think that's the right thing to do. All right, everyone, I'm going to get this video going. Stay tuned for turn 10 with more Dungeon Crusade action. All right, have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.